Today I'm picking up somebody very special from the airport. I'm very excited. And I've got the whole week off, so it's just going to be such a relaxing and just such a nice week. And I'm going to let you guess who that might be. A lot of you will probably guess correctly, but we will see when they get here. So Keaton,
Yes.
how are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, it's beautiful. Never want to leave.
Let's hope he doesn't. Keaton, where are we?
We're at the museum in Campbell River.
How do you like driving my car?
This is awesome. RAV4 handles completely differently than Manuela did.
It's a big difference in the van.
It's like half the size of the van.
Totally. How are you doing, Keaton?
I'm good. I'm tired, but not for long.
Where are we, Keaton?
We are in Qualicum?
Qualicum Beach, yes.
That's right. We're heading up to Parksville, the city of Parksville. We're going to go for a nice little stroll.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to get some food at some point.
Mm-hmm. Definitely food. We need food.
This sunbeam I'm in right now, I'm a cat fighting the urge to nap. I really am. Holy fart, that is brisk.
Is it?
Yeah, you're going to lose sensation real quick in there. But it is refreshing.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I have had a really great week. First of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who reached out with your really kind and caring messages about Sroufe, and for sharing your stories about losing your babies as well, your fur babies as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciated it. So about a week before Easter, my oldest Keaton sent me a message and said, "Mom, I feel like you need a hug." And I want to come and do it in person. And I've been looking at flights and there's some really good prices. So I'm coming to visit you. And that was just amazing. And I just put him back on the plane, said goodbye yesterday. We had a great, great visit. And I love my kids so much. We are such good friends as well, which is an amazing thing to be able to say. Anyway, so we had a fantastic visit, really did. And I took a couple of quick photos, a couple of quick clips, but mostly I was just present. What I want to talk about today is human being, us as human beings, and what that means and why I think that so many of us have moved away from that. It's a weird intro, but hopefully by the time I'm done, it'll make some sense, and you can disagree with me. But this is just one of those things that I really was thinking a lot about while I had this amazing week with my son. So what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, let's just look at the word human being. That is us being present, being alive, being, right? And what I experienced, what I found myself doing, and what I certainly see in the world around us is that so many of us have moved so far from human being, and we are now human doing. We are so focused on work, on always being busy. That's a huge thing, right? That we've forgotten to just be. We've forgotten to be in the moment. And some of us have no choice, certainly, but even in the quiet moments, we feel the need to fill every moment with doing something, being productive. And if you have a period, a weekend, a day, an afternoon, a few hours where you just do nothing, we feel like we're failing. We feel like we have wasted. I think that's the best way to put it. We feel like we've wasted that time. We've wasted that afternoon. We've wasted that day off. We've wasted whatever because at the end of it, we don't have something to show for it. We've moved away from being present, from enjoying those quiet times, from not having every second accounted for, to this human doing where we're constantly trying to be productive. And don't get me wrong, I like to be productive. I like to get shit done. But more and more, as I've gotten older, as I approach my 60th birthday, I have moved. I'm trying to, don't always succeed because perfection is an illusion, but I'm moving more and more towards embracing the human being present. So when I was with my son this last week, I was just present. We didn't always have to be doing something. Sometimes we were just sitting here or we're going for a walk, but we were present. I was aware of him. And how when you're quiet, what I've noticed, when you're with somebody you love, probably anybody, but when you're quiet with them, you or I really then can absorb their emotions, their feelings, get a sense of them. And when we fill our lives with activity at every second, we miss the opportunity. We don't have the ability to really have a sense of how that person's feeling, because people won't necessarily talk about it. And then we miss the opportunities for real interaction and connection. Keaton and I had some amazing talks. On his last full day here, we went down to the Oyster River pots, can't remember what it's called. And we just sat. It was too cold for him to go for a swim, but he stuck his feet in the water. But we just sat and we had an amazing conversation. And when you're sitting there in nature, listening to the water, listening to the birds, listening to the wind in the leaves, but also listening intuitively to what that other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally, that for me is where real connection and deep understanding is. And it was amazing. And after last week's video where I talked about living a small life, this is part of that. It's easier to have those quiet moments and embrace them, and not have to fill every second with doing, with being productive. Because here's the thing. Doing nothing is doing something. It's self-care. It's self-love. It's self-healing. It's self-rescuing. And that may not make sense to some of you. I suspect it'll make sense to a lot of you. I think it's obvious that we as a species have moved from human beings to human doings, humans doing. And I don't think that that has been necessarily the best thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier, I think being productive is an amazing thing. There's nothing wrong with getting stuff done. We all need to get stuff done. We have responsibilities, we have work, we have families, we have stuff we need to do. And that is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when we fill all of the other times, those bookend times, those supposed to be down times with activity, and especially when we feel guilty about those downtimes, when we feel guilty, whether it's something somebody else puts on us as an expectation, or even what we put on ourselves, which is often how it goes. We feel guilty after, let's just say, a day off, and somebody says, "What did you do this weekend?" We didn't do anything other than, a few chores, that sort of thing. There was nothing productive or exciting per se in the description we give, and we feel like somehow we did it wrong. And that's totally not it. Totally. I think we need to give ourselves permission. We certainly need to give each other permission to just do nothing, because it's in those moments of quiet that we can get self-reflective. It's in those moments of quiet that solutions to problems come to us. It's in those moments of quiet that we heal ourselves from the stresses and the anxiety and hurt that maybe is happening around us. If we never have those moments, if we never allow us those moments, we are constantly running on adrenaline, and we never have the time to heal. So I've been taking a lot of time to heal in the last little while. I think that has probably been obvious. So sure, I've made fewer videos, but I've also been able to breathe. And I've also been able to heal. And I've also been able to process, because my nature as a Virgo is to do and serve other people, and constantly be looking for ways to, well, I'm a recovering perfectionist. And it took a long time for me not to feel guilty about having time when I did nothing. And I'm using air quotes around the word nothing, because I was doing something. It just wasn't something external. Everything I was doing was internal. And it was exactly what I needed. It is exactly what I needed when I do it. And I will continue to do it. And a priority for me is, especially when I'm with somebody that I care about, then I really make a priority of being present and just being there. Because I think that is also critical for the relationships that we have. I think we've all been around somebody, spent time with somebody where, we've made an appointment, a date, we were going to get together, and that person is not 100% there. They're checking their phone, they're talking about work, they're not present. And we're sympathetic and understanding, because that's what we need to be. But it's not the same experience, is it, than when you're with somebody who is 100% focused on being there, on listening to what you're saying, and also sharing, on somebody who is, even when they're not talking, you feel their presence. They're there 100% in the moment with you. It's becoming less and less common, because we live in such a busy, complicated world. But we can all, I think, benefit from this concept. The concept that we need to move back to being human beings versus humans doing. So anyways, I just wanted to chat about that because I had this amazing time with my kid, and I just feel so full. You know, we didn't do a ton of things. We did stuff, but we mostly just were together. That one-on-one time, that him saying, "Mom, I feel like you need a hug and I want to come do it in person," was exactly what I needed. And he sent me that message before Sophie really declined. She declined fast and had passed. But how wonderful was it that for those few weeks afterwards, before Keaton came, I had that to look forward to, which was exactly what I needed. His presence, his being, this amazing human being that he is. I needed him, and I needed those hugs, which we got a lot of. If that resonates with you, I would love to know down below in the comments. And if I could just say, I was looking at my analytics, and 82% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribers. So for those of you who are subscribers, thank you so much. I just love you guys so much that you have clicked that button and you tune in to hear my crazy ramblings or whatever I'm doing. And for those of you who aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing and clicking the little like button and the bell notification if you want notifications. It doesn't cost you anything. You can always change your mind if you decide to, but it really does help YouTube know that some people are finding value in the videos, and then it recommends them to other people, which is awesome. So subscribe so you can be part of this amazing community. You're going to find the people here are pretty darn wonderful. I'm a little biased, but they are pretty darn wonderful. So I hope you do. Anyways, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, including to yourself. I love you, and I will see you next time.